Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. I'm Miss Katie with HeritageWays.com. Heritage Ways is our family's ministry where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. And so many people have come alongside us in that ministry to do that, and we are so grateful for everyone and the entire growing Heritage Ways community. I just want to thank everybody who encourages us, our family, Mr. Patient and myself, and our children through the comments, Patreon support, watching the ads, just all the little ways that you support us, support our ministry, and encourage us through your kind and wonderful words. So thank you. I just want to take a minute to say thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Well, you have found me here, Project 54, Episode 12, Classic Casseroles Week. We are making hamburger tater tot casserole. But wait, there's more. We're going to kick it up a notch because we're going to add a little bit more spice, and we are going to cook it in a way that I don't know if you have ever done before. Before we get started, y'all, I want to tell you about the journal, and this episode of Project 54 is brought to you by the Heritage Ways community newspaper, The Journal. This newspaper is compiled, edited, published, produced by me, Miss Katie, but this is built by the Heritage Ways community. I mean, people submit content. We have page after page, news from home, which is the most popular feature, I'll just say, where people submit what's going on in their homes. It's nothing controversial. It's nothing heavy laden. It is just what's going on in folks' homes with their garden, with their kitchens, and their sewing room, visiting their grandkids over the weekend. It is just coming down to somebody's porch, front porch, sitting on the swing and sitting and chatting with them for a while. That's what News from Home is. We also have gardening tips. We have a whole section called the pantry, and we have puzzles, crossword puzzles, just all kinds of things in the newspaper. There is a link down below in the description box. It will answer as many questions. I hope it answers all your questions, frequently asked questions, but if not, we have a volunteer staff, a working committee who are ready to answer your questions. Also, you can put an ad in here and you can appeal to all the readers of the journal with your ad. So I know you're going to want one of these. The next issue comes out the end of July. So you're going to want to subscribe now for the yearly subscription for the journal, the Heritage Ways newspaper. Now let's get started with this classic casserole, but I bet this is going to be a classic someday as well. It sure is a classic tonight, y'all. It is hamburger tater tot casserole, but we're going to kick it up one notch as we do something a little bit special and down home to our casserole. All right, first of all, we're going to start with putting 3 cream of soups, 3 cans of cream of. I am using mushroom, celery, and chicken. Cream of mushroom, cream of celery, and cream of chicken. You can use whatever combination of the 3 you want. I like the mushroom in it especially, but there are people that don't like mushrooms. Now let me say that our little children do not like mushrooms, but I do use the cream of mushroom soup because it's not many mushrooms in the cream of mushroom soup, but you use whatever you want. Now, I'm not a huge condensed soup user, but it was such a challenge to find casseroles for Classic Casserole Week that did not use cream of soups. And Mr. Patient asked me several times if I was going to make this casserole, so I think he was really wanting it. So I'm doing it because he asked me if I was going to. 1/4 cup of milk. A dash, probably a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I know our friends in England make fun of the way I say it, but Worcestershire sauce it is. You can use liquid aminos or coconut aminos if you want to go a little bit healthier. All right, let's just give this little mixture a swirl. And if you wanted a cheesy sauce, you can just add cheese to this. This is one of the first things my adult sons learned to make. And this is an easy assembly. All you need is your soup mixture. I've got a pound of ground beef. This is locally grown. I did chop it's a small onion, small Vidalia onion. I chopped that up, cooked it with the meat, added some salt and pepper on top of the meat. If you didn't have enough meat or you are trying to stretch it, then you can use half a pound or no meat if you need to do that. Or if you like it really meaty, like some of my folks do, like Mr. Patient does, you can add 2 pounds of meat if you wanted to do that. Then we have a bag of tater tots. Now, you can use any brand, but I'm just going to tell you, sometimes name brands are better. I don't know why or how that is, but I do find that a name brand tater tot is better, in my opinion, than the generic. I'm not against generic. I love generic. In this case, I bought the Ore-Ida only because of the other name brand was more expensive, and this one was on sale. We are going to assemble these country style, down home style. And what, may I ask you, is more down home and country style than cast iron? Let's pull out my individual cast iron skillets here. From Lodge. I love my Lodge. I'm not an affiliate. Locally made in Tennessee, the great state of Tennessee. That's just pretty as a picture right there. Black Lodge cast iron against my yellow towel that my friend sent. Yes. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of butter in the bottom of each one of these, because butter makes it better, right? This step is optional. You'll find this recipe in my cookbook, and it will not mention the butter or the Worcestershire sauce. These are additional treats for us here at Project 54. As my oven heats up to 350, let's put these in and melt this butter.
It's time to hone our hospitality skills. Build your own type meals are great for company, especially if you may have some picky eaters in the group.
Okay, we're going to pull that cast iron, that melted butter. I kind of hope it browned a little bit, so we've got some browned butter. Let's see. It's not browned, but it is melted. That's all right. We're going to go with that. Pull that out. It's hot. Use a good hot pad. Just going to swirl that around. If you want to use a pastry brush, you can do that. Not necessary to dirty it, though. All right, we're going to do these casseroles 2 ways. I'm going to show you that we can do either way. The first 3, I'm going to put meat on the bottom. Now I'm going to evenly distribute my meat. These are intended as individual dishes, but you may want a half one for a couple children. Not sure if my youngest 2 can eat this much. Alright, and then I'm going to save some for the other 2. And then I've got a bigger dish for my whatever I have extra. Or, you know what, I can just make it in here. I heated up another dish, but I can just use this. Alright, I'm just going to use this old Tupperware. And I'm going to put this, kind of spread it around a little bit. If my meat gets in mixed with it, that doesn't bother me. That's actually about 1/4 cup. I'm going to add a few, maybe like a tablespoon or 2 more. So I'm going to call it, say, 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon, which is actually 5 tablespoons. If you need a measurement for these little individual dishes. We visited some friends of ours you may or may not have heard of. Doug and Stacy, visited them a few times, and the first time we visited, we took them some of these dishes, and I can link above here in the iCards, I can link and show you a video where Stacy is using these. Actually, they are oblong cast iron dishes that we gave them as gifts. Alright, my next step is just going to be to put my potatoes on top. If you want to arrange them nice and pretty somehow, then you go for that. Or you can just put them on there. We have our potatoes on top. Now I'm going to these empty cast iron dishes and putting my potatoes on the bottom. Now as far as the dishes that I just put the potatoes in, we're going to go back over here actually with the meat on top of the potatoes. This is kind of the classic original way to make this casserole, is to layer it with the potatoes on the bottom. You could use other ground meats of your choice. You could use ground chicken, turkey, venison, whatever you have, elk, whatever you have. See, I do have a little bit remaining meat in here. It's not any kind of special science. Have fun with it and make supper. Don't toil over it. All right, let's go ahead and add our, I don't know, 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon on top of our little individuals here. Honestly, the way you do the potatoes is whether you want them soft on the bottom or you want them crunchy on top. You can experiment with it. Now I'll go over here to my pan and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put the rest of the potatoes in here on top of this meat. There were times in my life when I would arrange the potatoes all nice and pretty. I think that's, time has passed. And we're going to add the rest of the soup sauce, cream sauce, on top of this. Remember, this is just our leftover dish here. Our features at supper tonight will be the small dishes, the individual dishes. We're going to top it with cheese of your choice. That's the fun part too. We have Marble Jack cheese, which is Colby and Monterey Jack. You can get a pepper jack if you want to do that. You can get a taco cheese. You can get a Mexican cheese. The difference in Mexican and taco is the taco cheese has the taco flavorings, the seasonings added to it. The Mexican is just the cheese. I'm going to use a sharp cheddar because that's what my Mr. Patient likes, and remember, he asks for this. So I'm just going to go ahead at this point and I'm going to top each one with cheese. If you don't want the cheese on the potatoes, maybe you want to add the cheese to the sauce. And that way the potatoes, which are on top here, will get crispy if you like that. And what about people who like different things? In these little cast irons, you can do different things like I've done. Whatever suits everybody. Or what if you had made your own night and you browned the meat, or one of your family members browned the meat, somebody mixed up the sauce, and make your own. I love the little the little individual dishes for my deep dish pizza as well, which is a phenomenal recipe, even if I do say so. Pardon my pride, but it's very good. 350 for 30 minutes, or until the cheese is bubbling. It may not take 30 minutes in the cast iron. Number one, the cast iron was already hot, and it is not as thick as if you were to put it in a 9x13, which is the original recipe, and of course you can do that as well. there we go. There are our cast iron classic casseroles, and I think I need to try one. What do you think? Okay, which one am I gonna choose? I think I'm gonna choose the one with the potatoes on top. This will be mine for supper, so it's okay. It's creamy and cheesy and potatoey. It is so hot. But it's delicious, y'all. It's delicious. I love it in the cast iron. And I hope y'all try this classic at your house for supper very soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.